Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers across this country and around the world. Hopefully not too many people are going to hear this video. It's going to be private for a while. The topic today, children, no, sorry. The topic today is hacking. Okay, what is a hack? What does that mean? In internet parlance and terminology. Now, of course, we know anonymous. There's somebody that hacks computers. That's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is taking something that is an expensive device or an expensive product and making a cheap and or free imitation of it that is probably just as good, or at least it's going to save you a bunch of money. A lot of cases it can be built cheaply and sold at 10% of the cost of the device or product or whatever, what have you, that it's been cloned from. Okay, so let's get into couple examples. Again, I'm going to put links down below. I would advise some study of it. I'll try not to go overboard. I had about 10 links opened up. You can scan them, get the idea. So the idea being that you have an expensive product. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll put a link down below. There's a knife sharpening system called the Wicked Edge. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I didn't look it up before I have it up here. It's just one of the really good ones, really good example. Second I saw it, I was like, that is the best thing in the world I've ever seen. I'm going to say, let's say it's $300 to $500. Maybe it might be more than that. I don't know. But a very, it's a good device. No question, awesome device. But I looked at it and I thought, I know a guy that could knock that off, hack it, take maybe a little bit of mechanic and a little bit of thinking. And I've been rolling it around in my brain for a year or two. Well, on YouTube, I'll post the link. This guy hacked it. And for at Sears and Roebuck, a set of socket holders, where they have the little hold, really good hold downs for the socket so that they don't fall off. Not a little cheap, light metal one, really good one. He cut those up. Only needed 6 of them. For one of them, if it had 12 on them, he could make 2 of these devices. He only needed 6 of them. 6-inch extension, 3/8 ratchet extension, the set of stones that you sharpen them on, and bam. Make your measurements, whatever angles you want on your knife. He did. Typically, you do 17. 20 and 25. You could do 4 of them, 17, 20, 25, and 30. But point being is the Wicked Edge clamps the knife vertical with the blade like that, and then in fact I'll just okay, clamps the blade so that the blade is up, and then it strokes with 2 stones, one on their side and then one on this side, so you can very quickly do both sides of the blade at the same time, very rapidly. Now I have a Lansky system. The first knife that was handed to me to sharpen, I was working on docks in Denver, and this guy handed me a Buck 110. It's Buck is traditionally one of the hardest blades in the world. Very hard to sharpen, very hard to, they can get, anyway, they're brittle, but they're very, very hard. I took that thing and I went like this, crossways, there where you can see. I took the blade like that, and I could do that on my arm. Totally dull. About 10 minutes later, I had it to where I could literally shave with. But I had to do on one side, do the other side, flip it over, do one side, flip it over, do the other side. This Wicked Edge system, bam. So this guy knocked it off. He hacked it for, I think he can build what he did for, I don't know, probably $20 easy, $20. Now you could build them and sell them for $50. and 10,000 more people could afford them than the Wicked Edge system, which very, very few people are going to be able to afford. There you go. That's a hack. Okay. Another example of a hack is what I did, and it took me all of, I'm thinking 30 seconds. I was shown a friend of mine bought a bracelet. Again, if this is only going to go out to one person, hopefully, then you know what I'm talking about. John Walters was at a gun show, very sore elbow, bought a bracelet from Bionic Band at the time, Sean Martinez. Hi, Sean. Hopefully this is going to work out for everybody. And I looked at it. I got online. I went, ooh, okay. Just looking at it, I knew what was going on. So I hacked it. Okay, Tuning Element is not a hack. Tuning Element is a copy of another company, and it's a copy of something that was engineered, brainstormed, and finessed, and fine-tuned, and perfected by another company. We are getting into such heavy stuff here, my brother. And I really pray that this does not go south on you, because it's going to hurt. It's going to be, like I said, I told you in that text, what is the stupidest thing you've ever done in your life? What is the most expensive mistake you have ever made in your life? And what is the most amount of money you've suffered the loss of in the space of a week? My God, I hope you come to your senses, because we're partners. We're partners, buddy. We're partners. I'm going to try to hold off. There's so many topics here to cover, so I'm going to try to keep these short. But just a little hint there. Go get a soccer ball that is a real soccer ball, not with the little funny lines on it, but with original proper lines on it. Or look one up. Look at a 5/8 geodesic dome, but then you got to think soccer ball. A geodesic dome is only part of the ball. You need to look at a soccer ball, which is exactly what a C60 carbon molecule is. C60 is the strongest substance on Earth. A geodesic dome is the strongest substance on Earth. It's the strongest structure on Earth. Okay, enough said there. Go into that one another time. But that's it. Just a clue and a hint again. Take a clue, take a hint. This is heavy. Ain't no going back at this point. Cross the Rubicon. I crossed the Rubicon. I understand that. But if you understand the story there, Caesar crossed the Rubicon and he became emperor. I'm not saying I'm going to become emperor, but things are changing. Things have changed, and they're going to continue to change. And my prayer is that we go through these changes together, because the alternative is not a pretty picture. So, and I'm not making any threats. Believe me, I learned from a professional, and we'll go into that sometime. That'll be that I got to make a note of. I never threaten anybody, ever. So, hold on right there. I got to make a note of that one. I learned from a professional. Alright, that's a subject of a YouTube in and of itself. Alright, so, there you go. Oh, about 9 minutes there. So, take a look at, now this one, this here, as I said, it's been 5 years. You partnered with me to be a teacher. You said, I have marketing, I have sales, I have the business, I need someone to do the science, I need someone to do the knowledge. Okay. Well, in 5 years you really haven't learned anything. And that's sad. I'm sad. I'm sad about that. So, like I said, this is an education. So, as part of your education, I want to assign some homework. I want you to look up the links below. I want you to come up with some examples of hacks where a very, very expensive product was knocked off, quote unquote, and done out of common materials. Okay? And I'm tempted to go into a couple right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to save them for another YouTube, because it doesn't really, it's kind of a combination of a hack and open source technology. So I'm figuring at some point during one or two of these videos, or maybe hopefully every one of them, if you're sitting here and actually listening, the blood should just drain from your face. Okay? You should be whiter than me. So we got to get off on this one and get started on another one. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. I'm serious. This has been a blessed time, but it's been a time for me to grow up, and that's happened. You wanted me to be a leader? I am being a leader. You wanted me to take control? I'm taking control. Okay? I'm doing what you commanded me to do. So, there you go. Well, as I always say, it's Jerry Diamond. If you are listening to this, you are the remnant. Good night. God bless.